Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, just kidding. Don't let your kids watch this shit. Welcome to the Degenerates Corner, our little corner of the internet where we drink, we smoke, and we gamble.
You're fucking right, we do. Also, parents, let your kids watch if you're cool parents.
Just have to talk about grown-up words and not grown-up words before you watch the show. That's
Take
all
that
I'm
as a
saying.
disclaimer because only one of us is a parent on this show. So,
Anyway, as always, we are presented by the Unwrapped Sports Network. You can follow them on Twitter at Unwrapped Sports and on the interwebs at www.unwrappedsports.com. Check out the merch at teespring.com/store/unwrap. You can get show specific merch. You can get unwrapped merch. There's a lot of really cool shit there. And what's the other one I got? Oh, yeah, Patreon. I'm rusty. I took a week off. It's harvest
dude,
time.
I mean, you took
My
a week
job
off, and
is
the last
crazy.
time we even forgot to do the ads almost.
Yeah, we totally forgot. But also, if you like gambling, head over to patreon.com/unwrapped. $1 a month shows us that you love us, and we appreciate it. $5 a month gets you into the Discord. $10 a month gets you the Discord and the monthly giveaways. So it's all good. The best part about the Discord is you get into the gambling chat. I put my picks in there. There's lots of other people put their picks in there. Korean baseball is a really big thing in the unwrapped gambling
NC
chat.
Dinos for life.
There you go. And just you're going to be making money. You pay $10 a month and you tail the people in there. You're going to make money. That's just all there is to it. A lot of really smart guys putting out really good picks, myself included, to be honest. Just don't follow me on baseball. Not going to lie. Do not tail me on baseball. I'm horrible at baseball. But football, on the other hand, I've been doing a thing since week 1 of the NFL. I'm going to toot my own horn here for a second. I think I have picked 7 games where I parlay the quarterback over and the money line or the spread, one or the other.
Like the quarterback, like passing yards over or something?
Yeah, over passing.
Okay.
Plus his team to win. I did it with Lamar Jackson. I actually took a spread. I took a modified spread at 3.5 points.
Ooh, nice.
Instead of the 7.5. And then the other 6 times I went money line, I haven't missed.
You've been having a really good NFL season, I would say.
I am undefeated on the quarterback over plus money line.
So tail now,
year.
folks. What do I always say when you go to a roulette table and it's been black 3 times in a row? You bet black. You ride the heater. You don't bet against it. You ride it. You ride it out. And you know what you want to do? You want to take the advice you get from the Patreon, from the Discord. You want to take that and use it over at mybookie.ag. And when you do, make sure you use promo code USN100 for a 100% deposit bonus. MyBookie has everything. He was talking Korean baseball. You know they fucking got it. They have Japanese baseball, Korean basketball even. They've got any kind of sport you want to bet on. Parlays, props. They have it all over at mybookie.ag. And when you use promo code USN100, that's right, it's a 100% deposit bonus. That means you put in 100, you automatically get 100. You're winning before you even put your first bet in.
100%. Here we go.
Also, if we're touting NFL, 2 weeks in a row, I'm going to be betting it again just so everyone knows. 2 weeks in a row, XFL legend Donald Parham has scored the first touchdown of the game in the Chargers games.
Ride it.
And guess what? I bet it both times, and both times he was 30-1.
That's making money, folks. Ride that. Let me see here. All right. I need to find Chargers at Ravens. Do they have touchdowns up yet?
Ooh, if they do.
Oh, I do not. They do not have.
No, usually all the props and everything won't be here until later in the week. But when they come, and they will, you take Donald Parham to score the first touchdown. He is legit transforming into a real red zone threat.
That a boy. Love to see it. Love me some tight ends. Love me some XFL guys. All about that shit. Speaking of tight ends, have you heard about Iowa?
You mean tight end you? You mean the second best defense in the country, Iowa? You mean number 2 ranked in the world, Iowa? Also, they're ranked number 2 in my rankings as well. The real rankings, the rankings that do matter, not the AP poll. But the AP poll is cool. Iowa's a good fucking team. Their defense is legit. I'm still not sold on the offense, to be fair.
I'm an Iowa fan, and I'm
Spencer
not sold
Petras,
on that fucking offense.
but that defense is so good. Iowa might not lose another game until the Big Ten Conference, and whoever knows then.
Yeah. I'm going to address that real quick first. Here's to Iowa, number 2 in the polls, number 1 in our hearts. In heaven, there is no beer. That's why we drink it here.
Also, crazy stat, crazy possibility. So Nebraska, I mean, brutal, heartbreaking loss again. It's basically the tale as old as time this year with Nebraska is just heartbreaking loss. 1 point loss to a top 10 team again. There is actually a way if Nebraska beats Minnesota, Purdue, and Wisconsin, the Iowa-Nebraska game is potentially for who wins the Big Ten West.
That's scary.
That's wild.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Iowa's schedule.
That's just a wild thought I had.
Yes, that would be insane. But Iowa, starting this week, they have Purdue at home, Wisconsin away, Northwestern away, Minnesota at home, Illinois at home, and Nebraska away.
You will be favored in every game.
Yes, and that scares me because I think I mentioned it last show. Somebody said there's a point where Iowa's going to Iowa.
Watch out. The one I would be worried about if I was an Iowa fan is I'd be worried about that Wisconsin game. Those ones are always Iowa, Wisconsin is always weird. It's always a rock fight, though. It's always a rock fight. And Wisconsin will just make your offense for some reason they'll have magic Wisconsin powers and make your offense look dumb. And then it'll just turn into a defensive. I still think Iowa wins, but that's just the weirdest game. And I don't think Northwestern is Northwestern this year, so I'm just not even scared of them.
Personally, I am more scared of Northwestern and Nebraska than I am of Wisconsin right now.
I would be scared of Nebraska just because Nebraska's defense is looking really good, and the offense is things are coming together for Nebraska, and they're going to be up for that game because it's A, potentially for the Big Ten West, and B, if Nebraska doesn't win 3 other games going in, it's potentially for a bowl game for Nebraska.
Well, it's also bragging rights. I mean, since Nebraska came to the Big Ten, they have not beat Iowa.
I think, they have. They just haven't beaten it since Pelini said, since they haven't beaten Iowa since, I forget who our AD was, said we had to evaluate where Iowa was as a program.
That's right.
That was ever since he said
stupid
that
fucking
and
quote. You can't say that.
Oh, who was that? Was that Sean Eichhorst or something like that? Dumb. We've had some dumb ADs, but man, he was fucking stupid. But yeah, since he said we had to evaluate where Iowa was as a program, after firing Bo Pelini, Nebraska has not won against Iowa.
Yeah, ridiculous. So. But Iowa just has this tendency, and Northwestern scares me because Northwestern will go 1-11, and their only win of the year will be versus the 11-1 Iowa Hawkeyes.
To be fair, what makes me think Northwestern is not the same Northwestern is the way Nebraska dominated them, which is something Nebraska has never done. No matter which team is good or bad in that series, it has always come down to a 1-point game. Nebraska scored as many points against Northwestern this 1 year as the entire series combined, I think. That might be hyperbolic, but still.
It's high. I mean, I'm not worried about our home games just because we have Kinnick Magic, and it's Purdue, Minnesota, and Illinois. I don't think we're going to get surprised there. Wisconsin's going to be a dogfight. Yeah. And then Northwestern and Nebraska on the road just make me nervous.
I mean, it wouldn't be college football, and you wouldn't be an Iowa fan if you weren't nervous.
Yeah. Piece of gambling advice, full disclosure, I do not bet on Iowa games. But if you want to place a small wager on fading Iowa on any of those away games, you're probably going to get pretty good odds. And I'm really scared that one of those 3 away games is going to be a loss.
I don't know, man. I would probably maybe fade them against the spread, but Iowa's done what they've really done a good job this year is when they play not great teams or teams that only have one factor, they do a super good job of shutting them down.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because Iowa's defense is so good. I mean, 5 turnovers and you win by 3 points. Like, that is the textbook definition of Iowa offense. Do just enough to win. And I'm just scared one of these weeks it's not going to be just enough.
That's true. That's fair.
And
it's a valid worry.
I'm writing it right now. I mean, we're number 2 in the country.
Oh,
due to the transitive property, we should be number 1.
I saw people fucking ragging on Iowa for storming the field, and I was just like, no, live in the moment. Iowa is on top of the world right now.
It was number 4 versus number 3 and a comeback win. Like, yes,
yeah, but like people will always just be like, well, you were favored, so bleh.
Number 3 versus number 4. I don't give a fuck what the odds say. That's a fight.
That's a fight. And also, Iowa's on top of the world. When was like the last time you guys were top 3?
I don't remember, but I think it was I don't remember how high we got, but we did go 12-0 about 10 years ago, but then lost to Michigan State in the Big Ten championship.
Was that the Michigan State? That wasn't the Michigan State playoff run, was it?
I don't think they got into the playoffs.
So, that was actually, like, that was 6 years. 2015 is when they made the playoffs. That
might be it. No,
that might be it.
No, I'm wrong. It was before that. I'd have to look it up. I'm not good at remembering years. They all blend together because Iowa wins 9 games a year every fucking season. So that. Speaking of that, my long-term Iowa over 8.5 wins is looking pretty good.
It was 2015. You guys went 12-2. Then you played Stanford in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, fucking McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Still hate that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Iowa got 4 interceptions and only won by 3 points.
Well, Penn State got 2, didn't they?
Yes, they did get 2.
I mean, that was like a defensive battle.
Yeah. And the other thing, how big of a difference do you think Clifford going out made?
I mean, probably that backup was not good. He was bad. I think, before I say anything, Iowa won the game, and Iowa deserved the win, and Iowa maybe would have won. You just can't say definitively.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say definitively that Penn State would have lost if Sean Clifford doesn't get knocked out. Yes, he threw 2 of those picks, but like once he gets knocked out of the game, Penn State only has one option, and that's run the ball, because the backup was their 4th stringer last year, I believe.
Yeah, because their backup QB transferred to Kentucky and is now 6-0 with a starting job.
But I mean, it's hard to tell, but we don't live in a reality where Sean Clifford plays the full game. We live in a reality where Iowa wins, and they might have won anyway. Who knows? Yeah. We don't know.
Well, and that's the frustrating part for me. Like, I'm not going to say definitively one way or the other, but I think a lot of people are discounting halftime adjustments. Because Penn State's offense, which, I mean, I realize it was partly because of a backup QB, but like nothing worked for them in the second half. Absolutely nothing.
That's why I'm not going to say
like just one guy.
I'm not going to say definitively. I probably would have leaned to favor Penn State if Clifford stays in, just because they were already up.
Yeah.
But that would be the only, like, it still would have been like, there was a reason this was like a 3-point spread.
Yep. So it's refreshing to talk to somebody that's a little bit more realistic on that. I also had to deal with people telling me that Iowa's a bad team. So
like if you end the game, the Oklahoma-Texas game after the first quarter, Texas wins by a landslide. We don't live in that reality.
Yep.
I'm sorry. We don't. Oklahoma comes back 100%. And Texas lost. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say 100% that I'm with you. I don't think there's a definitive answer. I'm not going to say 100% Iowa would have still won that game with Sean Clifford in there. But I'm also saying their defense looked a lot better against all aspects of the game, not just containing the quarterback once Clifford went out.
But who knows? There might have been more picks if Sean Clifford's like throwing the ball downfield. We don't know. Yep. I probably would have favored Penn State, but we don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm 100% with you. I think it's more likely that Penn State would have won it with Clifford in there, but I don't think that's the only reason they lost the game.
I agree with you there.
Getting into our picks. Now we've talked about Iowa and Nebraska for 15 minutes.
Can we talk about the biggest game of the fucking weekend before we do that? UConn, UMass storming the field after getting their first win since 2018. Congratulations, Minutemen.
First win since 2018.
Neither of these teams have won since 2018. So UConn is still winless since 2018.
Wow. That's impressive. Oh, and also, how was the Kansas State game?
2 weeks ago, the Kansas State-Oklahoma game was awesome. Yes. It was a super great environment. Love Manhattan. Man, that was a brutal loss because K-State, it sucks. And when you're talking with K-State fans, when they're down 2 scores and there's 7 minutes left, they're just the game's basically over because the way K-State plays, and they never change it up. They just drain clock. So they just they had a touchdown drive, but by the time the drive was done, there was a minute 45 left. And you're just K-State, you're not giving yourself any time to come back in this game. And they almost had an onside recovery, but the kicker double kicked it. Oh, it was brutal. It was a brutal game, but it was awesome. It was a fun game and a fun environment.
Awesome. And then you also went to Buffalo, Kansas City this weekend.
I did go. This was my first NFL game I've ever been to. Arrowhead was awesome. The tailgating experience was fantastic. I got fucking lit up. I got drunk as shit. Went to the game. Awesome game. We one of my family friends, they got us club seats, so that was fucking awesome. Watching the game, super fantastic game. I bet on the Bills, so that was great. They looked great. I took a nap during the delay. There was that hour and a half delay that I actually just took a nap in my seat. And then I went home and
rally time.
I hung out with a bunch of depressed Chiefs fans.
That's the only downside there. I was kind of surprised how much the Bills won by. I kind of I bet the over, which hit. But I stayed away from picking a winner because
my thought process was these teams both have some of the best offenses in the league. And the Bills defense is way better than the Chiefs defense. So I'm going to rock with the Bills. So I took the Bills on the spread and the Bills money line. The Chiefs defense is bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, definitely good picks there. I just rode the over because
also a good choice. Just overs in Chiefs games. Just ride overs in Chiefs and Cowboys games.
Yeah, that seems to be a play. I also have an over coming up, but we'll get there.
Nice.
So,
you ready to pick some games?
Mahomes scares me. I am legitimately scared to bet against Mahomes.
I mean, it's always the thing with Kansas City is they're always they're the best big play team in the nation. So they're always in a game, no matter I feel even if the Chiefs are down 18 points, I'm just that's fine. They'll come back in this in 2 plays. It's just, but the thing is, I just have no faith this year in their defense right now to get stops at all.
Yeah, that's fair. Fun fact, there were 5 Iowa Hawkeye players starting in that Kansas City Buffalo game.
That's wild.
So I just thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, is AJ on one of the? He's on the Bills.
Yeah, right? AJ Epineza is on Buffalo along with Micah Hyde.
Yep.
And then I can't remember the third one now. And then there's 2 defensive linemen, Ike Buttiger. He played for Iowa, and I can't say his name. And Ben Neiman in the linebacker spot for the Chiefs. And then there's a 5th one I can't remember right now. But there were 5 guys out of the Iowa program playing in that game. So that was cool.
Nice.
All right. Picks. Go start out. Baby. Michigan State -5 at Indiana.
I'm right there with you.
Fuck Indiana. They're terrible. Last year was a fluke.
Also, Michigan State might have one of the most fun running backs in the country. A legit Heisman contending running back.
Yeah. Well, the Heisman list, the preseason Heisman lists have been shot to shit.
It's basically
you had Spencer Rattler on there, and he got benched.
He's done.
He's done. And De'Aaron King was on there, which
Done.
I mean he's done for the year, so obviously he's
Done.
out. But even before that, he was done. He wasn't having that good of a year.
I want to see Grayson McCall in New York.
I think that's
because
fair.
He has been lighting people up, and Coastal Carolina has just been destroying everybody they come across.
Yep. Yeah, Coastal has been ridiculous again. That's impressive to pull it back-to-back years. Them and Cincinnati are both really impressing me for a group of 5 schools.
Yep.
The problem is they're so good, the spreads are ugly, and I just don't want to bet them.
I've actually, I was like 1.5 games away from my big. I'll do it again this week. I'll do my my ugly big spread parlay.
Yeah, I last week I put the picks out in the Discord. If you are a member of that, even though we didn't do the show, Louisville fucked me.
Oh yeah, they'll do that. Louisville's yeah. Never pick them as a favorite.
I was 4 out of 5 on my favorites parlay, and Louisville is the one that fucked me.
Yeah.
Just pissed me off. Fucking Louisville. Next up, I have Mississippi State plus 17 versus Alabama. Alabama has played like dog shit on the road this year, and they got to go to Mississippi State. I don't think they're going to lose, but I think 17 is too many points the way that Alabama team has been playing.
I like it. I'm not going to bet that one, but I like that one for you.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for it because I want Alabama to shake.
Oh, I would love to see them win. I see Mississippi State upset them. I'm just not confident that that's going to happen as far as the gambling perspective, but I think it's going to be less than 17.
I can dig it.
Ole Miss, Tennessee. 2 of the most. Tennessee has scored 97 points in their last 2 games.
Yeah, I was talking about this on the gymnasium on Sunday. Is Tennessee a fun team now? When the fuck did this happen?
I don't know, but I listened to a podcast with a huge Tennessee guy on, and he's like 7-5 is very realistic at this point. I'm like 7-5. You're 4-2 right now. You only think you're going to win 3 more? Like I think Tennessee wins this game, and I'm betting the over at 82.5 is the over. I don't give a fuck. Give me the over.
I do not think Tennessee wins this game. I'm also on the over just because I really want it to happen. Mississippi has played like when their game against Arkansas, and I think Arkansas is a vastly superior team to Tennessee. 105, I think, was the total in that game.
Yeah, it was
like
a
103. It was 103. It was 103.
Yeah, 52-51 because I bet Arkansas to win that game, and the idiots went for the 2-point conversion to win the game instead of kicking the field goal.
You go for 2 there. I like the going for 2. It was bad execution, but I like the call.
I like the idea. It just pisses me off because it cost me money.
I understand that. It cost me money too.
Like that was a plus 300 payout too. If they would have tied, if they would have kicked the field goal or kicked the PAT, sent it into overtime and won the game, that was a plus 300 payout on there.
It was hard for me to be too upset because I live bet Oklahoma. So that I was just riding high the rest of the day.
Oh yeah. Oklahoma was on my parlay. I like thought my parlay was dead, like from the get-go. I was like looking at that Oklahoma score, like, holy shit. I had to work all day, so I was like watching scores on my phone and listening to the radio, but holy shit, was that rough.
Before we get to the next pick, heads up for you next time when you're doing that. Do you like Red Zone? Like NFL Red Zone?
I have not tried it because I do everything streaming. I don't have cable or dish or anything. So I do it all stream.
If you download the Varsity Sports Network on your phone, they have a college football radio Red Zone that just takes you through all of it like bounces back and forth between all the games.
Nice.
It's really cool. I used it on my drive up to Kansas City, and it helped out a lot. I was keeping track of every game going on.
I'll have to look into that. Do they like this is like probably a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if it bothers anybody else, but on Sunday I had to drive down to Des Moines. So I listened to the Bears on the way there, and then I was there for like 2 hours, or no, not even 2 hours, probably about an hour and a half. So I turned the game back on to catch the end. And it was on Sirius Radio, which they always do the home team for the broadcast, is what they broadcast on Sirius. So I was listening to the Las Vegas Raiders broadcast, and I legit turned the game back on to find out the score and listen to it on the radio. They went to 2 commercial breaks without saying the score. Like,
so the way that Red Zone
is wrong with you?
The way that Red Zone works, and that what they call this program is the College Football Blitz, is they have one guy who's bouncing back and forth between the games, and when they're on a specific game, they use the radio call of whichever team is on offense at the time.
Nice. Yeah, and I don't really care about which team you're listening to. It's just,
and also there's ads when like there's nothing going on. That's the only time they run ads.
Yeah, I just don't understand. As a broadcaster, you don't say the score as you go to commercial break. That just pissed me off.
It's stupid.
Like, yeah, it's just I've listened to a lot of radio broadcasting games. It just seems like every other game I've listened to, other than the Raiders-Bears game this weekend, they're like, all right, and now we're going to go to a commercial break. The score is currently 14-6 Chicago over Las Vegas. And they go to break. And they just didn't do that, and it pissed me the fuck off. Oh, next up, TCU plus 13.5 at Oklahoma. Oklahoma can't cover spreads.
I mean, they covered against Texas.
What was the spread?
It was like 3.5, and they won by a touchdown.
Okay, that's the only spread they covered this year. I'm going to ride.
That is true. That is true. I don't know, man. I'm going to fade you here. I'm actually on the opposite side of this one. I think this is a new Oklahoma under Caleb Williams, and I think TCU's defense is legitimately bad. So I think Oklahoma kind of just runs all over them here.
I'm staying on black, like you said earlier.
I respect it.
Oklahoma has not been covering spreads. I will fade them on a big spread every time.
I respect it. I also like when we disagree sometimes.
Yes, I like that too. It's boring if we think the same thing. Speaking of disagreement, next up, Army plus 14 at Wisconsin. I'm going back to the well.
We're both on Army here, right?
Support the troops. Let's go.
We're both on Army here. Yeah. Army surprised me. They look really good. When they're playing Air Force here in a couple weeks, that's going to be a huge game. I love them here in this spot. Like, Wisconsin is bad. Their offense is bad.
Yeah, their offense is bad. That's why if it was a 7-point spread, I'd probably be going the other way. But 2 touchdowns and Wisconsin doesn't have an offense. Like, I don't see it happening. Army's going to eat up clock.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could win this game. I don't think I'm not betting the money line.
I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on that money line.
That's a little bit of a stretch, but sprinkle a little bit. That'd be a solid play if you want to just throw a long shot bet out there. But I don't see Wisconsin winning by 14.
I don't either.
And then last, this was going to be a money line pick, but the spread is only 1.5. So I did go spread just because it's better odds. Washington over UCLA.
Ooh.
UCLA has to go to Washington. Give me Washington at 1.5.
It's kind of like a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's basically a pick 'em, but
yeah.
Washington money line was minus 130. 1.5 spread was minus 115. So I'll take the spread.
I'm going to take UCLA in that one.
Not going into Washington, bud.
Oh, maybe Washington is kind of starting to figure it out, but I think UCLA has a decent enough run game that I don't think Washington can stop them.
Just be forewarned. I will remind you next week that I warned you against betting against UCLA.
I mean, you and my buddy Chase have also warned me against picking with Chip Kelly, but I don't.
There is that too.
Something about UCLA. I don't know, man. I'm on UCLA here.
Okay. That's what I got for college, other than the parlay.
I've got a couple. I am I'm going to take North Texas plus 11 against Marshall. I think Marshall is starting to really crumble under this coach, and I think North Texas is starting to turn it on a little bit.
I looked at that one. I like it.
I like that one. I am on Arkansas minus 4.5 versus Auburn. I think Auburn is like, after losing to Georgia like that, they might be in some troubling spots right now.
On a scale of bet your house to bet a 6-pack, how confident are you on that?
On Arkansas, I bet a 6-pack. I'm betting a 6-pack. This is a tough one, but I'm fading Auburn after a bad loss to Georgia.
Okay. It is Arkansas at home. I'm going to jump on that. I was close. That was another one that I looked at. So I'm going to tell you on that one.
I'm going to take South Carolina.
Minus 4.5.
I like that. I love it. Also, it's not bad to throw them into a favorite money line parlay if you're doing a couple teams. I'm on South Carolina minus 18.5 versus Vanderbilt. At this point in time, Vanderbilt might be the only team on the auto fade list. Bowling Green is off. UMass is off after beating UConn, and UConn is off after keeping it close against Vanderbilt and Wyoming.
Yeah, I looked at that one too, but
I mean, that's a lot of points. I understand. I understand.
Betting teams to cover big spreads. I tend to go. It's like unders. I don't bet unders. I don't like betting big spreads. Although I did bet Georgia to cover last week and hit that. So
my last one is going to be Nevada minus 14 against Hawaii. Hawaii is not the same team off the island, and they're not good off the island. And Nevada is a really good team. Also super competitive. They're one of 3 teams or 4 teams competing for the Mountain West at this point. So yeah, give me Nevada in this spot.
Yeah, that's another one I looked at. So I don't have any disagreements with your picks here. So
we both got a couple fun parlays coming.
Yes. So my favorite parlay, which is not quite all favorites this week. I'm trying to now I forgot who's not favored. I do have, let's see if I can look here. I have the parlay wrote down, but I didn't write down who wasn't favored. Let's see. A&M. Okay. Tennessee is the underdog against Mississippi. But plus 120, not a huge underdog. But starting up, give me Tennessee versus Mississippi. Tennessee is hot. I'm right in the hot hand. 97 points last 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to be a shootout. Definitely bet the over, and I like Tennessee to come away with the win, which are words at the beginning of the season I would have bet you money I wasn't going to say. So, and second, give me Fresno at Wyoming. The rest of these are all favorites, so you're just putting together favorites to get better odds. Give me Pittsburgh over Vatech. I am still on the Pittsburgh train. They're going to win the ACC. The Wake Forest game for the championship is going to be a slugfest. But I'm on Pittsburgh. Give me Baylor over BYU. Baylor showed up. I mean, I understand that Iowa State is not what we thought they were going to be, but still, that was a very big win for that program, and they've been riding the momentum. I like them. And give me A&M over Mizzou. Ooh. I think A&M just keeps riding this high. Bet the hot hand.
Okay.
So
I have 2 parlays.
5 together. Put those 5 together. You're
what do you get? What do you get?
Plus 832.
Whoo! That's nice and juicy.
So bet 10, win 80.
I've got 2. I have a gross spread parlay. First off, with these giant spreads. First off, I'm taking UTSA minus 18.5 versus Rice. Meet motherfuckers. The University of Texas, San Antonio are the best team in Texas, and they're coming for that CUSA crown, and they're going to stomp over Rice doing it. Give me UAB minus 16 versus Southern Miss. Southern Miss is crumbling at the seams at this point. They're basically a program in shambles after they've had 4 coaches in the last 2 years. Miami of Ohio minus 19.5. I'm fading Akron. Akron is the letdown of the season after that giant win against Bowling Green. Akron has won a game, folks. They have won. Fade them after the win. Give me South Carolina minus 18.5 versus Vanderbilt, because Vanderbilt's like the only team on the auto fade list right now. And I have a buddy who's a big Kentucky fan, but give me Georgia minus 22. I don't think Kentucky's offense is going to score a point on this Georgia team. I think Georgia wins by like 23, 24 points to nothing. So those are my.
I might fade you on that last one. I think
I could see Kentucky's defense. Real. I mean, Kentucky's real. Arkansas is real, but you saw what Georgia did to them. You saw what they did to like these decent teams in Auburn. Georgia has allowed 2 offensive touchdowns all year.
But college football is so wild this year.
So it's just
because Arkansas went to College Station and beat A&M.
Yeah.
Then they got spanked by Georgia, and then A&M spanked Alabama. It doesn't make sense.
Nothing makes sense, but I am sticking with this for now. Honestly, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Georgia wins. I hope Kentucky wins outright, but I just don't think they will. This is my brain pick. My heart pick will be in my Underdog Moneyline parlay coming up next.
Okay.
My brain is on this one. You get like plus 2,500.
Holy shit.
I mean, they're all spread.
Bet 10, win 250.
Yeah. So my Underdog Moneyline parlay. Here we go. I got one actually tomorrow. The first one is tomorrow. Navy outright against Memphis. Memphis is not good. Memphis is falling apart right now, and Navy is.
I looked at Navy on that
live
pretty
dog.
Hard on the support the troops idea.
Give me Navy. Give me. What are some juicy dogs we got going on here? Give me Missouri. I'm actually on Missouri against Texas A&M. I'm not going to throw that in a parlay though. I am on Missouri to win outright, but I'm not going to throw that in a parlay. Give me.
I don't like that.
Give me Eastern Michigan against Ball State, because I got to rep my Eastern Mich schools. And it's a close one. That's like a toss-up. So if anytime you can get like a dog and a toss-up, go for it. What's my next one going to be? What's it going to be? I don't want to be an asshole and throw Purdue in there, because that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, Purdue. If it was at Purdue, this would be on my watch list game. One of my watch list games for Iowa to get upset, but in Kinnick, there's no way.
Give me Kansas State. Give me Kansas State over Iowa State.
I don't hate that.
Farmageddon's wild, dude. Farmageddon is wild. Give me Boston College over NC. No. They lost Phil Dracovic. I'm not on that. Never mind. There was one more that I saw. Give me UTEP. This is the game. If UTEP wins this game, they're already bowl eligible. UTEP is 5-1. That's how crazy this season is.
How the fuck is UTEP 5-1?
UTEP is 5-1.
How did I not notice that?
UTEP is 5-1. So I'm on UTEP, Kansas State, Eastern Michigan, Navy. That gives you plus 8,000.
Bet 10, win 800.
Boom. Fucking boom. I mean, bet 5, win 400. So.
I love it.
Frugal about it. Also, I am definitely on Navy plus 10.5 and outright. That's happening.
Who's Navy playing?
Memphis.
Okay. I was almost on that spread. Like, that was one of the ones I looked at for a pick. I might sprinkle a little bit in there.
Memphis is like one play away. They're one ref call away from being like a 2-win team.
They're
not good.
Yes, that is right. I had kind of forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding it. I hate the referees again.
I mean, don't even get me started, dude. Did you watch it? Did you hear or watch any of the Michigan-Nebraska game?
It was horrible.
The refereeing was horse. It was dog shit.
Yeah, just
God damn. Disconcerting signals and fucking. Jesus Christ. It was terrible both ways, too. I'm not even just saying it was bad for Nebraska. It was bad both ways.
Yep.
Those refs sucked. Big Ten refs suck.
That was that's always the most frustrating to watch.
Because otherwise, it's a good game. It's a good game if it's not a ref show.
Yep. My dad has a great take. Anytime any of this referee stuff comes up, he's just like, I don't understand why these guys that are supposed to basically be observers and make sure none of the rules are broken try to make the game about them. Because it shouldn't be. Yeah. You should never be talking about the refs after a game.
And we're talking about them like every game, especially in the NFL. They suck too.
Yes. Yeah, that's just, if the referee does a good job, you don't talk about it.
Yep.
So, speaking of the NFL, I have a really short list for the NFL right now because there are not a lot of player props on the books yet. I didn't even have the quarterback props for Thursday. Well, let me rephrase that. I didn't want to mess with the Thursday night game as far as the quarterback props.
Yeah, it's a tough game.
Because Tampa's going to win, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know in that game. I don't know how much Brady's because I don't know how much Brady's gonna have to do. I think that over is a legit 50-50.
I mean, I think like the Eagles can score on the Tampa Bay. Like the Tampa Bay backfield is not very good. The one thing I am worried about.
They just picked up though. Who'd they pick up? They just picked up somebody.
Richard Sherman, but he's washed. All Richard Sherman does is get 2 pass interferences a game and maybe get like 1 block pass.
We shall see. We shall see. That game scared me. The Sunday games, I didn't have quarterback props on. So basically, I have Cincy -3 versus the Lions.
I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
Cincy just took Green Bay to overtime. I like it.
This could also be a potential emotional letdown for the Lions. They were so close to winning that game last week.
Yeah. Very much so. And
I feel so bad for Dan Campbell.
Seem to get out of their own way.
I feel so bad for him.
Jamar Chase can actually catch a football despite preseason reports. And I like it. That's all I got for the NFL right now. I'll tweet in the Discord, and I'll probably tweet it out because I'm on a hot streak, so might as well throw it out there. But yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'll have my quarterback passing yards over plus Moneyline parlay. I'll put that out probably Saturday. I'm hoping I have lines to look at, maybe Sunday morning. But I'm hot on that.
So we talked about joining the train, not fading a hot hand or whatever. I'm going to keep fading Kansas City against the spread. Give me the Washington football team and our boy Taylor Heineke +7. All day. Kansas City has not covered a spread in what feels like years.
Yeah, I think they only covered the spread once last year.
Yes, and they haven't at all this year. They have not at all this year.
I did look at that. Not gonna lie, I looked at that, but I don't know. You see Chiefs versus football team, and it makes you nervous.
I'm also going to be taking whatever, when the props and everything comes up, I'm going to be taking the over on both Heineke and Terry McLaurin and the Washington football team total.
I am definitely going to be on the Heineke over.
I will also probably sprinkle a little bit on Taylor Heineke first touchdown just because he loves to run for the end zone. His favorite thing is diving for the end zone. That's his favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. Go big or go home, boys. Let's go.
Fucking love it. I'm also going to tell you right now, whatever the odds are, I am on Donald Parham yet again. First touchdown in the Chargers-Ravens game. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby.
Yes.
And on top of that, I've been also betting all of his stats because he's over 1.5 receptions every game, and he usually at least gets 2 or 3. And he's over under yards, receiving yards is 6.5. And yeah, they're incorporating him more and more in the offense every week. And guess what? He's probably the better tight end. I'm just gonna fucking say it.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna be jumping all over the Parham props when they come out.
Also, I'm sorry to say I am taking the Packers -4.5 versus the Bears. The Bears are letting you up to let you down.
I don't hate that from a gambling perspective. From a Bears fan perspective, fuck you. The Bears are back. It's field season. Let's go.
That would be hilarious to me if the Bears win. My thought process is if a team doesn't cover, I want them to lose. So if this is like a 3-point game with like 2 minutes left, the Bears have the ball. I hope the Bears win outright.
Yep. I don't know. The Bears organization is so fucking confusing. I still want Nagy fired, but he seems to have given Bill Lazar the play calling duties, which seems to be going better-ish. But, I mean, they didn't score a lot of points against Oakland, but, I mean, I think they scored an appropriate number of points for the offensive line they have protecting Justin Fields.
So my NFL play that I'm going to give you guys, I'm just going to do my Underdog Moneyline parlay right now because I don't have any props in front of me. Give me the Cardinals over the Browns, the Chargers over the Ravens, the football team over the Chiefs, and the Panthers over the Vikings. That's right. I'm riding with our boy Heineke.
Let's go. I'm not gonna hate on a Heineken pick ever. What's that give you?
Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it was 28-1. Let me see. Where the heck are you? Oh, +3, 36.67. So around like +3,600.
Okay, so $10 gives you $360.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now for the big boy degenerate parlay money line. Give me Tampa Bay. Give me Miami.
That one's risky, dude. If you have to take one out, make that your first one out because I don't trust either of these teams.
That's fair. Okay, we'll skip that one for now. If I have to pick one, I'm going to take Miami.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride with the Chiefs. I love Heineken, but it's the Chiefs.
It's fair.
It's Mahomes. I hate betting against Mahomes. I'm going to take the Chargers. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Never mind. I'm taking the Ravens. Sorry.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Ravens because it's in Baltimore. If it was in Los Angeles, I would be taking the Chargers. Skipping that one. Give me the Vikings. Give me Carolina versus the Vikings. I like Carolina in that spot.
This is a big make or break game for Darnold, too.
They're playing at home, and it's the fucking Vikings. They just seem to piss shit away. Give me Cincinnati. Give me the Colts. I don't think if I didn't refuse to bet unders on principle, that would be a game that I would look at the under pretty hard. Because Wentz is
I kind of like the Texans to cover, though. They're looking like that offense is looking a little better.
I would not. Yeah, I'm not against the Texans covering, but I think Indy comes away with the win. Probably by a touchdown, either a field goal or a touchdown. Somewhere between 3 and 8 points. Cardinals at Cleveland. Give me Cleveland. Man, there are just too many games I don't want to touch. Give me the Raiders. Give me the Raiders over the Broncos.
This is like who are you Raiders right now without your head coach? I think they're better without Gruden.
I do too, and I honestly think the whole Gruden situation is going to piss the team off more than it's going to hurt them.
I honestly just think they're better without him because I think he's a bad coach.
There's that also, 100%. How is Pittsburgh favored against Seattle?
I think Russell Wilson is out, so it's Geno Smith starting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Russell. Okay, give me the Bills.
You gonna jump on the Cowboys?
I don't want to. I really don't want to.
Ooh.
Give me New England. Playing in New England. Give me New England.
Okay.
And give me Miami.
I'm going to roll with you on that Miami one just because they're my team and I really, really want them to win. I don't want them to lose to Jacksonville so fucking bad.
And give me Seattle.
I mean, Geno Smith.
And I don't have faith in Big Ben. That's my deal. So there's the picks. $10 wins you $7,289.05.
I'm taking 7 of those picks. So I'm taking the Colts, the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Panthers, the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean 7 out of 12 is
it's still
bad.
I think that's a 2,800. That's still a 2,800. So 10 to win you 280.
Yep. So not quite as big, but obviously we call it the Degenerate Parlay for a reason. It's a fucking long shot.
It's a long fucking shot, boy.
I'm also in a Discord where we are voting on a 13-game parlay every week. 1 versus the spread and 1 money line. So that's going to hit one of these weeks. We're using collective intelligence to hit that.
I like it.
But similar odds to the one I just put up. So these will all be available in the Discord if you don't want to re-listen and write them all down. But that's all I got for picks this week.
All I got is just make sure you bet Donald Parham, man. Just bet the boy. He's going to get that first touchdown. If he gets 3 in a row, I'm going to cream my pants. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that's a fair take.
I'm already up $500 on this shit, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to hammer the Parham.
I might just oh man. I'm going to throw the rest of my bankroll on it. Yeah, I'm going to say it right now.
Yeah,
whatever's left after betting, I'm throwing the rest of my bankroll on Donald Parham first touchdown.
I'm going to bet first touchdown and then hit his over on receptions and yardage.
Booyakasha.
Let's go. All right, Jim, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at XFL Jim. I'm tweeting shit out constantly, folks. And you can find me on YouTube XFL Jim, Twitch XFL Jim, TikTok XFL Jim. I'm everywhere, folks. Everywhere. I have my review coming out of the Bud Light Seltzer Fall Flannel Pack this Friday. So be on the lookout for that. It was me and Blackjack Fletcher over from Vegas.
Hey,
yo,
what the fuck is a Bud Light Seltzer Fall Flannel Pack?
So you know how they did like the Christmas pack and they did like the out of office pack and they do like these seasonal packs?
Okay.
It's their fall pack. So the flavors are apple crisp, maple pear, pumpkin spice, and toasted marshmallow.
If you give me a beer that tastes like pumpkin, I'm going to hit you in the face with it.
Well, actually, so fair. First off, it's a seltzer. Second off, pumpkin beer is actually like regular pumpkin beer. If you get it like at a craft brewery, actually pretty good. And the seltzer, the way I described it in the video and the way I'm going to describe it for you now, so the pumpkin spice Bud Light Seltzer, it is basically the essence of this tastes like what walking into a Bath and Body Works smells like in the fall. If that
sounds horrible.
I mean, you can have like 1 or 2, and that's it. The surprise of the package, the surprise hit of the package, the maple pear, it's like a refreshing can of maple syrup. It's like the perfect morning tailgate beer. Seltzer. Sorry, I apologize.
Is it better than a Natter Day?
That's hard. Like on a college football Saturday, Natter Days are hard to beat. But if like an NFL Sunday morning, yeah, I'm gonna take a maple seltzer. Also, an XFL morning, yes. Early on in the season when it's still chilly out, yes. Give me the maple pear all day. Also, apple crisp is just amazing. It just tastes like apple cider. It's delicious. That one's awesome. That one is flat out fantastic.
I vote lattes.
I mean, Busch lattes are a classic. You can't. It's hard to beat a classic.
All right, guys. You can find me on TikTok and Twitter at Garrett from Iowa. There will be a TikTok video dropping later tonight as soon as I get done editing. I'm not sure if I think I'm going to put the college football parlay out on TikTok this week.
Nice.
So, we'll be dropping a video as soon as I'm done editing, and we will see you all next week. Thank you all for hanging out. We love you all, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
I don't know if this is going to end up on the recording or not, but it's thinking really hard about ending the broadcast.